Okay, guys, welcome back to another little episode about screenwriting and the process of bringing this to life. I have to be honest, after starting this hack, which originally was just supposed to be the hack, um, maybe an hour or so after I did that video, I was inspired by the story. Now, I don't know where it's headed. I just had this thought that maybe we could develop something together and you can watch this unfold in real time. And I'm obviously going to post this on Instagram and YouTube. And I welcome any kind of thoughts about character development. One of the things is that I just want to focus on this, and why I'm sharing all of this is because while I may be sharing my perspective of writing, it doesn't mean that I've stopped. It doesn't give me an authority, right? Like, even if I've sold 1,000 scripts and I'm deep in all the cash that Hollywood has for me, doesn't mean that I haven't stopped to learn. And that's one of the basic elements and behaviors that we have to learn as writers, is to just learn, to relearn, and always constantly learning. So, and I'm learning through this process. I've done this exercise or this hack many times while writing other pieces of work, and some of them have landed me into some really amazing meetings, and I'm grateful for that, because it's led me to grow and to ask more questions about what the process of writing is like. It shouldn't be a science project, it's not rocket science, but at the end of the day, there is a format, there is a way to captivate your audience. And if it's not jumping out, it's not jumping at you. That's a term that you guys should learn. If it's not jumping at you, then it means that it needs some work. So let's go back and kind of shave off and add some stuff. I haven't added anything to this. This is left off from where we left it. So let's just kind of do a little recap. Before us is a silent living space. The front door is immediately in front of us. This is too wordy, so even just redoing this better. Before us is a living space with the front door we could say in sight. Nothing but the sound of peaceful rain captures the sacred, we could say our sacred hour of silence. Sacred hour of silence. When suddenly Steve Miller, 40, bursts through the front door, out of breath and in bad shape, wet from head to toe. His hands are slippery, making it challenging to remove the keys from the keyhole. He finally breaks the key and darts past the living room into his kitchen. Without much time, he bolts for the drawer, jostling the contents while looking for his inhaler. No luck. Okay, I'm going to stop here because inhaler. This is kind of key, right? This is a key cow moment for our character. A cow is the cow in the room. It's a problem. Like, if you wake up with a cow in your living room, how are you going to get it out? And in this case, the cow in the room is the inhaler. He's coming into this space. He's out of breath. But out of breath, to me, could be a number of things. It could just be out of breath from running. But we haven't really paid attention to the fact that the inhaler is part of the story. It's part of the scene. That's his getting over the cow. Is probably the getting to his inhaler is the cow in the room. Finding his inhaler is the getting over it and successfully pushing out the cow, right? So it has a climax. Okay, but we haven't really highlighted this, so we could just rewrite this part here. We could say, burst through the front door, wrestling an asthma attack. wrestling an asthma attack, in bad shape, wet from head to toe. His hands are slippery, making it challenging to remove the key, single key, from the keyhole. He breaks the key and darts back. So this breaks, let's be more specific, he breaks off the key in half and darts past the living room into his kitchen. Okay, so now we know that he's now all of a sudden the imagery of our character is different. Now we know that he's wrestling with an asthma attack, and this is all called media res, right? This is all in media res, meaning there's already something happening. You could argue that, well, this peaceful moment of the rain is really just. We can even add a brief moment of silence. When suddenly, or maybe that's too redundant. You know what? I'll take it off. Whatever. So, now we understand that his asthma is sort of taking precedence over him finding. So now he breaks off the key in half and darts past the living room space. Without much time, he bolts for the drawer, jostling the contents violently jostling the contents, looking for his inhaler. No luck. He looks through a few more, and just as he's about to open the last drawer, his phone rings. Shit, he says to himself. Stephen's heart rate drops and spikes all in a second. It's his girlfriend, Emily Myerson, 40. There's some technicality here with how to write a phone call conversation. I'll get to that later. For now, we're just kind of focusing on the dialogue. Takes one deep breath. So again, he's obviously in distress. He's got this out of breath situation, and it's his girlfriend. His girlfriend's obviously a trigger point, because why else would he have this reaction? But the take one deep breath, I don't like that. He reaches for an ounce of how about this? He vacuums every last oxygen molecule in the room for air molecule. He vacuums every last oxygen molecule in the room and says, Emily. Okay, so now we have this moment, right? He's obviously in distress. We know that he's trying to, act normal as if nothing is happening, because why else would he put all this emphasis? And now we have Emily. Stephen, Jesus, there you are. I've been calling for you for the past hour. Oh, Christ, I'm sorry. I must have missed it. Well, no shit. Where have you been? Here. Stephen is very obviously struggling still. Struggling. He is very obviously struggling with his breath. Wait, what? Stephen, what? You've been running again, haven't you? What? Come on, Stephen. Really? The doctor was very specific about your condition. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Condition. I don't know what I did there. I just, again, but this is kind of foreshadowing. This now the audience is like, there's a condition. There's a condition to this situation. There's a reason why he shouldn't be running. But it gets worse, right? Because we reveal later, he says, Steven, I don't have time for this. You want to die? Fine. I don't care. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Why do you do these things? Why do you do these things? Then we can put another brief moment of silence. We highlight, we make this silence cap because it's we enlarge it, capitalize it because it's just a good habit. It puts an emphasis on the moment of silence. Okay, fine. I went out for a quick run, okay? I knew it. I was bored. And you left Miss Piggy all by herself? What if she'd pee or pooped in the house, Steven? Come on, man. Come on, man. I thought we had a deal. She didn't pee. She didn't pee. Steven, Steven, what do we say here? Steven looked desperately looks for any signs of urine. She didn't pee. We could say here. Now, I don't like parentheticals, but sometimes they're okay. Like, she could sigh. She's sort of frustrated with this guy. She could say, look, I just need you to pick up when I call. That's all. Now, we could kill this moment of silence. We can add this together now. No, where's my little bundle of joy? How's she doing? How's she doing? Oh, she's here, lying around. Send me a picture, please. Now, obviously, this is kind of a shallow interaction, but where are we headed, right? And so we know that Steven has to conceal this fact that he's lost this dog. Send me a picture. And so now we kind of have to justify Steven's reactions here. She could say, well, I'll tell you what. No, he could say, send me a picture. Let me get dressed again. And I'll just in that second, Emily decides to FaceTime. Just say FaceTime with Steven. What are you doing? I want to excuse me, Emily. I want to see Miss Piggy. I'm naked. I've seen you naked, Steven. I've seen you naked, Steven. What? What are you talking about? No, I'm in the bathroom. Ah, fine. Please send me a picture. Okay, so now I'm kind of wondering, so I don't want to make this too long. Now I'm wondering, like, okay, well, this is kind of cool. And he's obviously concealing the fact that he's lost this dog. And I was thinking about this briefly. I kind of want to go and develop this story backwards, kind of like Memento. So let's see what happens if we super title this and say 2 hours earlier. Interior, back to Steven's apartment where he is now sitting on his couch, flipping through the channels without any care in the world, hypnotized by a thought while holding on to his green juice. I don't know, green juice. He suddenly, Steven, fuck this. He places his juice down and bolts for the front door. He bolts for the front door, and without noticing, the faulty doorknob does not latch, leaving a crack open where Miss Biggie has a desire to do what puppies do: investigate. Okay, so that's it. Obviously, there's a lot more to do here, but it's kind of going somewhere, you know. I'm pretty excited about it, working backwards, and we'll see. I don't know if there's something cool like a TV show pilot or a movie. It feels more like TV, to be honest, but we'll see what happens. And I'm going to talk about how I process page by page. Quentin Tarantino says that every page has to be stellar and perfect. Is this page perfect? No. None of these pages are perfect, but it gives us room to work on. So more on this tomorrow as we navigate the process of screenplay writing. Okay, I'll see you on the next time.